So the Gemara Masechet Rosh Hashanah, page 17a, says that there are certain people that go to Gehinom for a certain amount of time. But there are certain people that go to Gehinom that even after the world ends, Mashiach comes, brings salvation to the world, their Gehinom will not end. Meaning their Gehinom is eternal. Certain types of sinners, people that violate Shabbat and do not do tshuva, people that desecrate Hashem's name, don't do tshuva. Non-Jews also have a Gehinom that's eternal, but it's not for Shabbat, it's for different things, for violating the 7 Noahide laws. Hitler is swimming in Gehinom right now, and he's not coming out. But point is that also J.C. Penney's in Gehinom and not coming out. Jesus is also in Gehinom. There's a Gemara in Masechet Gittin that Onkelos the Ger did a seance and brought back 3 people that died. One of them was his uncle Titus in English. Another one was Bilam. And the third one was Jesus. And he asked them what's happening in the afterlife. All 3 of them were in different parts of Gehinom, and they described Gehinom, which part they were in, what they did, and each one of them were in a different part of the 7th level of Gehinom. Just different chamber within the 7th level, but all 3 of them are there, and they will never leave. And there are many other people, unfortunately, that wasted their life and have no share of the world to come, which means that they're in Gehinom forever. Now, as far as the souls that go to Gehinom, in essence, this is a soul that violated one of the 36 sins that you get karet for, without doing tshuva. If they did tshuva, they could obviously even not go to Gehinom. Depends how high the level of tshuva they have. If they can lower the sin or completely erase it. But if they didn't do tshuva for the Isur Karet, then they can go to Gehinom for eternity until their soul is completely destroyed. And the only thing that's left of it is the part of God that He instilled in it. And that goes originally back to the original source. But their soul is destroyed completely. But that's after a lot of bad stuff.
I have another question. What's the reason why you get correct for information Pesach?
Because this is one of the rules that HaKadosh Baruch Hu said into the world, that by preserving Pesach, you are testifying that you believe that God created the world and He is the one that took us out of Egypt. So by preserving Pesach, and complying with Pesach, you're agreeing with this and you're testifying, even though you may not remember it, you're testifying that you believe in it. On the other hand, if you eat chametz on Pesach, that means that you don't believe that God created the world and took us out of Egypt. And that's why you don't listen to Him. And that's why Hashem says, this is one of the covenants, this is one of the deals, this is one of the ways that you testify that you believe in me. If you don't believe in me, then obviously we have a serious problem.
Is there a reason you comment specifically?
Because that's one of the 36. There's 36 times in the Torah that Hashem says that this specific sin is karet. He picked it. He picked 36 different times a sin that's he considers worse than everything else. The Zohar also adds another 12, saying that there's a total of 48. But Lemazeh, most understand that there's 36. Either way, a good part of those 36, more than half of them are actually sex crimes, meaning immorality. Incest, or a person being a Jew being with a non-Jew, desecration of Shabbat, wasting seed, things like that.
The punishments of all those 3 guys that Ankelos spoke to, are they meant to be taken literally, or are they like kind of metaphorical?
What's metaphorical about a soul being burnt and then put back together and then being burnt again?
Well, like the other 2, Balaam was in boiling semen.
No. These are, if you watch my shiur about Gehinom, it's the Pirkei Avot number 84, I believe. It gives details of each one of the chambers in Gehinom, and one of the chambers in Gehinom is boiling feces. Another chamber of Gehinom is boiling seed. Another chamber of Gehinom is fire, lava, but not lava like we have here. Lava like we have here is like a small little lighter next to the lava over there. It's not even 1/60th of the lava over there, because here the highest fire we have is blue. There's different types of fires that we have no concept of. We have green fire over there, all types of fires that we have no concept of what they are. So, yes, it's quite literal. Quite literal. I mean, it's worse, actually. We don't actually have a concept of how bad it really is, because we think boiling, oh, it's like a tea bag. It's not.
What is the idea of people saying that Gehinom only lasted 12 months?
So that's a misunderstanding of a couple of places in the Gemara. One is in Masechet Shabbat, one is in Masechet Rosh Hashanah. At least to my knowledge, those are two places where it says that the judgment is 12 months. The judgment is 12 months. Once somebody dies, the judgment is 12 months. Now, if that person actually read the rest of the Gemara and read the commentary on it as well, they would simply understand that it's not for everybody and it's not 12 months. So there's a few things. Number one, if a person reads the rest of the Gemara in Masechet Rosh Hashanah, he will see the judgment of 12 months is for a specific type of sinner. But then the Gemara continues and says then that there are certain types of sinners that their judgment is eternity. Which means that those people that say 12 months probably never read the Gemara and they just heard 12 months from somebody, you heard it from somebody, you heard it from somebody, you heard it from somebody, who that somebody, original somebody, just told them that one line and not the rest of the thing. So if you actually look at the Gemara yourself, you'll see Gemara, Rosh Hashanah 17a. You go look at it, you see it says exactly, it says that even after Mashiach comes, salvation comes to the rest of the world, everybody gets good, and their souls will never stop suffering. Meaning even after Mashiach and even after this world ends. So if somebody simply reads the rest of the Gemara, they understand it. Then if you go to Gemara Masechet Shabbat, 1 second, it also, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says, judgment for Reshaim is 12 chodesh, 12 months. So they assume, oh, see, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says wicked people, their judgment is 12 months. Misunderstanding. Why? The Ramak says that what Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is telling us is not that their judgment is literally 12 months of time, but rather they get judged at a place in heaven called 12 chodesh. It's a name of a place, not a time frame. It's like 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven doesn't actually mean 711. It's a location. You could buy Slurpees and fill your gas up too. So 12 chodesh and that Gemara is an actual location, not a sentence. How do you prove it? By looking at the other Gemarot that say many go to Gehinom for much, much longer than 12 months. Exactly. It's also another thing. Another thing. Point is that anyone that studies the topic honestly arrives at a conclusion without a single shadow of a doubt that not only does Gehinom exist, but it has very, very long sentences, and it's not even the worst punishment. There's also something called kafakela, which you could also find in Gemara Masechet Shabbat, which we learn from David HaMelech, that I think it was Abigail tells him all of the wicked enemies that you have will be shot into kafakela. So Gemara says, what is she talking about? Says, oh, certain type of wicked people don't even have the merit of going to Gehinom, so they go to kafakela. What is kafakela? And the Gemara says, kafakela is when Hashem punishes somebody to such an extent that he slingshots his soul from one end of the universe to the other end of the universe, and the whole time the different angels that, what they do to him? They make him into a little shakshuka. So, this, Rabotai Karim, does not require for you to learn the secret parts of the Torah. This is literal Gemara. This is literal Chumash. This is literal Tanakh. This is everywhere. Now, many people that reject it happen to be Chabad, unfortunately. Why do I say unfortunately? Because that means that Chabad in this generation has a few people that call themselves Chabad, but they're not really Chabad. Why? Because in order to be Chabad, you have to have Chokhmah Binah V'Da'at. You have to obviously use your brain, learn Torah. And the foundation of Chabad is two things. Rambam and the Tanya. If you look at Rambam, Ilchot Deot, Rambam, Ilchot Shuvah, talks about Gehinom. What he says about Gehinom over there. You're going to have fun once you go to Ilchot Shuvah and he talks to you about Gehinom. Or you go to the Tanya. Every Chabad rabbi, every Chabadnik loves the Tanya. Go to the Tanya, chapter 8, chapter 12, chapter 11, chapter 45. all these different places. He talks about Gehinom in such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful way that it's not a confusion. Why? He even gives you details of what happens if you eat tarif. You eat non-kosher meat. He says, oh, for non-kosher meat, you go to the cold Gehinom, not the hot one. Because there's a couple of Gehinoms. There's Gehinom of fire, there's a Gehinom of ice. He says, oh, for the taref, you go to they put you into the cold one. He gives you details, which means that unfortunately many of these Chabadniks just skip those chapters, or they don't learn. They just call themselves Chabad. We don't have anything against Chabad as long as it's authentic Chabad. We obviously are in Chabad house right now. We don't have anything Chabad. If it's honest Chabad, we love Chabad. Chabad is called the regime. Unfortunately, today there are many people that call themselves that, but they don't even learn a book. They don't learn their own books. So it's not my fault. I'm just the one that calls it out. I didn't tell them not to learn. They want to go learn. Go learn. No problem. It's in their books. It's in the Gemara. It's in the Tanya. It's in the Rambam. It's everywhere. What I say, everything that I say, literally 99.999% of everything that I say in all the thousands of hours that we've done Shulei Torah is basic level Judaism. Like people think I'm some genius. I'm not. I'm barely basic. It's just that we are in a generation that people don't know the basics, including sometimes rabbis. It's not my fault. I didn't create them. I didn't tell them not to learn. The books are available to them for free even. Go to Chabad.com. It's free. You go to these chapters as I tell you. You're going to find out. Or you go to the Chabad website, type Gehinom, type hell, you'll see a few things. Unfortunately, don't go to the articles. Go to the book. Like I told you, you don't learn from articles. You learn from books. You learn from the real books that were written by tzaddikim, verified tzaddikim. Like the Tanya, like the Baal Shem Tov, like the Rav Ovadia, the Ramban. These are the people. These are leaders that we learn from. We don't learn from some modern day person that is a good speaker, just because he's a good speaker, whether it's me or not. All I try to provide you is in essence, I try to save you time by giving you the information that you can find yourself. Now, since you didn't go find it yourself, I'm providing it to you. If you want to verify it, you can go to those pages, you can go to those books and verify yourself. But the beauty of a lecture is supposed to be that I can save you a lot of time, where if you were going to learn, for example, the answers to everything that we talked about in this year alone, most likely it'll take you between 8 to 12 months. 8 to 12 months, maybe longer. Because you'd have to read a lot of books just to find where these answers are. It's not like you just go find the answer and leave. You don't even know what you're looking for. So if you're really, really a heavy reader, it'll take you 8 to 12 months. If you're not, maybe 8 to 12 years. Depends. But that's just this shiur. If it's last week's shiur, also, some shiurim, like for example the Gehinom shiur, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 to 10 years. Not because of a genius. It has nothing to do with that. It's just simply, I studied a specific topic. I have a rabbi that knows what to tell me, where to go, where, I do certain things. He does certain things. And Baruch Hashem, we put a lot of work into it, and we give it to you on a silver platter. People think that it's easy. People think, oh yeah, you're just, talking like it's easy. But it's not. It's just, you have to read a lot of information, and the information that you guys get is accumulation of information that was acquired over an extended period of time in a hopefully understandable format that's still somewhat interacting, and then that's it. You could verify all of it, or you could just comply with it and move on. Whichever one you want, same price. Yes?
Do all the people that die in the world of God and Magog, do they lose their portion of the world completely, or what happens to their souls? Or are they all...
No, not everybody. Not everybody that dies is going to hell. No, some people that are going to die in Gog and Magog will be resurrected with the dead. Karet is not always, there's 3 different types of karet. Some karet is just a person dying prematurely, but he still has a share of the world to come. Some karet is a person will actually live a long life in this world, but he has no share of the world to come. And some karet is that he not only loses a big part of his life where he dies young in this world, but he also loses a share of the world to come. There's 3 different types of karets. So some people that die, they may die early, they may die late, but the point is that it's not one size fits all. Some people that will die at Gog and Magog, Could even be people that get resurrected by the dead, but they didn't deserve to see the Mashiach at that point. That's it.